$50 million a year through 2028 to fund efforts to expand affordable housing and boost small businesses and nonprofits. A vote now could be held as soon as Friday. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. How does 3 months of free electricity and a lifetime of energy savings sound? Well, it's yours when you go solar with Sunlux. Learn more at sunlux.com, sunlux.com.
Is this the time?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Lakers coach Darvin Ham is facing his most difficult challenge since he was hired by the franchise in 2022. Ham is trying to come up with a game plan that will help the Lakers beat the defending NBA champion Denver Nuggets for the first time in almost 2 years. The Lakers have not beaten the Nuggets since December 16, 2022. Game 1 of the Lakers' first-round matchup with the Nuggets is Saturday at 5:30 on ABC. The Dodgers are off today. They need some time off to regroup. The Dodgers are 4-6 in their last 10 games and were shut out Wednesday by Washington. The Dodgers start a 3-game homestand Friday against the New York Mets. The Angels, a half game out of first place in the AL West, are at Tampa Bay today. The Angels are 9-9 under new manager Ron Washington. Washington is trying to lead the Angels to their first winning season since 2015. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley.
And I'm Compton Mayor Emma Sharif.
You have no doubt been hearing promos and expert conversations on our various weekday shows and downloading details at KBLA1580.com about our climate justice campaign, which is now in full effect.
The city of Compton is pleased to partner with KBLA Talk 1580 to celebrate Earth Day 2024 as we serve, share, and help our city shine.
And KBLA Talk 1580 is just as excited to join the city of Compton as we broadcast live and bring our KBLA delegation with us to help clean and beautify our community, and you are invited to join us.
Come meet us on Saturday, April the 20th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 212 West Cypress Street in Compton as we fan out to clean up our city.
The first 50 KBLA listeners to hit our website at KBLA1580.com will receive a free KBLA tee when you join us on Saturday morning, April 20th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 212 West Cypress Street in Compton. Now, no show, no shirt, but sign up at KBLA1580.com right now to help us clean up Compton as part of Earth Day 2024.
We will see you on Saturday, April the 20th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 212 West Cypress Street in the city of Compton to do our part for Earth Day 2024.
We are KBLA Talk 1580, caring about the climate, caring about the community, cleaning up Compton.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. This show is called First Things First, and my first thing today, tomorrow, the next day, giving thanksgiving praises to God and asking for blessings from the Most High, the ancestors, and the elders. And let's go. So this is how this show is structured. The first hour, we look at what's going on in the left coast, California, and all states Pacific. Hour 2, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we'll do a deep dive with a person of interest, a hot topic, etc. Today, we will be joined in studio by Judge Kevin Ross of America's Court. And we're going to talk about, I want to talk about HBCUs things because he's a big HBCU booster, as well as the threats that we currently see to the HBCUs in this anti-affirmative action, anti-blackness on steroids environment that we find ourselves in right now. And of course, you're invited in on the telephone all the time. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580 is the number if you got something to say. You want to weigh in any hour. Also, you are invited to YouTube where we are streaming live and you can see what's going on. That's at KBLA 1580, youtube.com. While you're there, please subscribe, like, dislike, comment. I have a YouTube channel too. It's DiPrima Radio, DiPrima Radio. And since I don't have that many subscribers, your subscription would make a huge difference. So yeah, we are everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at KBLA 1580. I'm at DiPrima Radio. And we welcome your engagement. In fact, when I'm not on the air, during the weekends and whenever, I love to talk to folks on, especially Instagram. Twitter, a.k.a. X, has gotten a little, mean for me, but I still check in there sometimes. Anyway, I'm really pleased to have in studio with me this morning the lead organizer for a group called Black Men Build, which is a grassroots membership organization whose mission is to give Black men and their family all the tools necessary to become a powerful, organized political force for liberation. We're joined by Stephen Redman. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. And also with us, he's been on the show before. He is kind of a part of the KBLA family delegation, but he's also over Africatown, the organization, and Africatown Enterprise. Billion Godsun, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, Dominique?
I'm good. You're a, organizer with various organizations, too, besides your own. I mean, I know you work with the African Village Merchants Association and
yes.
Black Lives Matter,
yes.
and probably there's a long list.
Downtown Crenshaw, yes.
Black Men Build, I'm guessing. Build. Yeah. Okay, so you stay busy. That's why Billion is always at a meeting. But the Black Men Build organization, Stephen, is really kind of your brainchild, right?
Here for the Los Angeles hub, my co-leads are Micah Seals and LeBron Robinson, and the three of us have, for the last couple of years, been doing a very good job of growing the Los Angeles hub of Black Men Build. We are a national organization, though.
So what drives you? Like, I feel like, we have so much conversation right now about the black man is this, the black man is that. What, for you, as a young activist, made you say, this is what I need to gravitate to?
For me, I thought it was very important that I run my part of the race or carry my baton and make sure that I give it on to the next generation. And however that looks for me might be different from everyone else, but I definitely felt like there was a need for young men to step up and make an impact in our community. Again, what that was going to look like, I had no idea. I could just feel like it's time to go.
I mean, the thing I hear a lot from some younger black men is that they're really not as interested in being part of an organization. But there are a lot of advantages to being in a group as far as getting things done. So tell me what your philosophy is around that.
I can definitely say you can move very fast alone, but you can go very far. You can go very far alone, but you can go very fast in a group. And so you need a group of peers to help you stay sharp and up to date with the topics of the world. You can't do it by yourself.
And Billion, you have almost 1 billion organizations that you're working with. What drew you into Black Men Build?
Well, initially they came while we were struggling with the market on Sundays, and they stepped in and helped with like cleanup and various aspects, security. Juneteenth, they stepped in and really helped us make sure the day went smoothly. But then just over time talking to them and seeing that they really have a revolutionary ideology, and seeing that they really are committed to the people in a number of ways similar to what we as the Africa Town Coalition are doing. So we just connected. A lot of these brothers are about a generation behind a lot of us. So having the youth step in and, like he said, take their baton was most definitely a relief.
And, I want to get your take on some various things that are going on, here in Southern California. But what do you see, how do you see this moment for black men? You're a millennial, I assume.
Yes.
Millennial generation,
yes.
How do you see this moment for black men in America?
I see it as a very pivotal and important moment. There's a lot of different opinions. I would say a lot of confusion spiraling around people my age and younger. And if we don't make a stamp for how we want ourselves to be represented, I don't know how our memory or legacy will be left in the history of humanity or in America.
Mm-hmm. And I know that was kind of a big, broad, kind of hard question. But I think it's one that we're asking in different ways, especially in the social media space.
Yeah.
What was that reaction?
Social media. Just to, I guess from my standpoint, at my age, to watch it develop, seeing when it came about and then where we're at with it now. Watching how it turned from just a little social interactive thing for us as high schoolers or whatever the case may be to watching our elders use it as a resource, as a communication tool to move the revolution along and keep it alive. You don't think that I'm gonna play my Game Boy and this is Wi-Fi, playing with my friends, and now we're like really like, oh, this is work, like this is life, and we're doing it. Like you can't predict the future like that.
I remember the Game Boy. Billion, how do you see this moment for black men in America?
Ooh, it's real interesting. Politically, seems like black men in general have been forgotten.
Really?
And possibly even being sacrificed right now. When we look out into the homeless situation, when we look at the unemployment situation, and even a lot of businesses owned by black men are going out of business. And on the political landscape, you don't really, well, to this point, you hadn't heard anyone really speak to issues concerning black men, but now on the rise, we have Dr. Cornel West and Dr. Melina Abdullah that's giving us hope, but in general, it's just looking real grim for black men.
I guess when you put it in the context of the situation with unhoused people, and especially here in LA, where it's so prevalent, it's just people can't afford housing, then I can see why you would say they're forgotten. I feel like forgotten and fetishized at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you bring social media into the conversation, which is kind of like so prevalent. It's so much an influence on everything that I don't think you can have the conversation without it. Especially when it comes to black men, there's so many narratives that are being put forth outside of that activist space that you're talking about, Stephen. So when you say black men build, what needs to be built?
A sustainable community, a very strong, tightly knit network, so that way it cannot be interfered with, interrupted with, disrupted, or if disruptive attempts happen or occur, it does not derail our community.
I think a lot of folks in Generation X and definitely boomers feel like your generation, millennials, are not as involved. I kind of think millennials get a bad rap, if I'm being honest, because the ones I know, like Miles Lowe back there, keeping the show running are working really hard. I mean, this man is here before I am every single day. This show starts at 6. Like, you know, and I could tell you, even when I was on Front Page, my crew were mostly millennials, and we were there at 4:30 every single day. But how would you say, what's your pushback to that, to the elders that are listening right now?
I would say ask us more questions and be a little bit more patient when it comes to understanding. Our generation grew up with the internet. We're the first generation to grow up with the internet. So we might have a little bit of a different perspective just on information and just how it transfers, you know, but that's what I would say.
A different outlook on information and more information, right?
More information.
I mean, that to me, I don't know. I try to think back, and I don't know if I would have been ready to handle all that coming at me all the time. Well, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Want to look through both of your eyes at, you know, some of the solutions. We spend a lot of time focused on the challenges, and I think a lot of us know what they are. What are you doing? What should we be doing? How can we help in all the positivity, all of the action? I think we assume that if we don't see it on the mainstream media, that it's not happening, and that is a very terrible mistake to make. 800-920-1580. We are unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Hi, I'm Reverend Gerald, host of Urban Family Focus here on KBLA Talk 1580 on Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. In an effort to help reduce the impact of hypertension in our community, Providence is offering free hypertension assessments. The first 30 people to visit KBLA1580.com and use the link or QR code to register will receive 2 tickets to the Amazing Grace Conservatory presentation of Aladdin, A Whole New World for Real, at the Crenshaw Performing Arts Center, May 25th and 26th. Go to KBLA1580.com right now and be one of the first 30 to register for your hypertension screening and receive 2 tickets to Aladdin, compliments of Providence and KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Race, culture wars, political turf battles, criminal justice and injustice, the courts. These are the conversations you won't hear elsewhere. My guests are leading journalists, celebrities and sports figures, elected leaders and influencers. They aren't afraid to get into it and say the quiet part out loud. With Ariva Martin in real time, your commute just became the most engaging part of your day. Tune in weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. or find us on YouTube. Ariva Martin in real time, when you want it straight, no chaser.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, we are in the studio with Billy and Godsun and Stephen Redman. Black Men Build is the organization we're mainly focused on, although both of them are involved in multiple organizations, and putting your activist lens on local issues, solutions. Kwamel Allah in the chat, in the YouTube chat, says black men and black women are not separate races. Keep that in mind first. However, black men haven't been in fashion for a while. As black girl magic is propped up, reactionaries are suddenly the voice of black men. What do you think of when you hear Kwamel say that? I said, my response was, black men are always in fashion to me. That will never change. But I guess I just don't see it that way because, everybody wants to emulate the black man, sleep with a black man, try to rip the black man off. It's hard for me to even understand how black men could be out of fashion. But if that feeling is out there, then I guess it's real because you just said, Billy, and forgotten.
Right. Historically, we can see that we are a threat to the white power structure. And I believe over the last decade, there's been an emphasized attempt to marginalize, displace, dispossess us. You could look at construction throughout LA. Historically, we have built city after city, but today you look and you don't see black men working. You can even look in a lot of the smaller businesses and we're not there. Like I was saying, politically, we don't really hear a lot of people speaking to the issues that we are facing. Right now we see with the Supreme Court, they're gearing things to, again, limit our opportunities. When we see the discussion about DEI, when we see Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas are now basically saying you can't protest. That's been our means to gain rights. But right now, we are being excluded in a multiple means. And, organizations like Africatown, Black Men Build, we really have to rally behind because now, it's just looking real grim.
Well, I'm never on the doom and gloom page. I know that it's hard to stay off of it, though. And there are people that really seem to thrive. But, again, I'm back to social media, but not just social media, in saying the black man is going to be extinct. The black man is, an endangered species. And what you're laying out, Billion, seems true, but at the same time, I see black men in leadership. I mean, look at the state of California. Even in LA, you have 2 black men on the city council, which, considering that there's 15 city council members and we're less than 8% of the population, is actually pretty decent. We have a lot of black men in leadership on a statewide level, maybe not doing what you would have them do as far as you'd like them to go, but some of them are pretty progressive. We would have a 3rd black man on the city council if it wasn't for, the targeting of Mark Ridley Thomas. And then I see, in leadership of organizations here in Los Angeles, I see a lot of powerful black men. You're shaking your head, Stephen.
You are correct.
So it's like, I guess it sounds like what you're saying, the attacks are there, but folks are not going out without a fight.
Right, and normally this is when we see our people, black men and women, rise to the occasion. It's when the pressure is on, but just from where we're at today, we've been pushed back 50, 60 years. So it will bring the best out of us. And we were talking earlier about the millennials. From my position, I've seen nothing but a lot of millennials, through Black Men Build, working with us, Africatown, in the village with Black Lives Matter, Los Angeles, Black Lives Matter grassroots. I'm seeing a lot of millennial activity and a lot of young men, step up and take their position in this movement.
Yeah, I agree. I that's why I don't understand it. I feel like the people that are slandering the millennials all the time just maybe don't have the experience with folks, or they're not out there. They're just seeing the ones that are standing in front of the barbershop. Right. They don't see them because everybody else is busy. I'm not really sure. I don't think it's fair. But, I mean, it's funny because Kwamel says black girl magic is propped up. But as a black woman, I always feel like we are at the bottom of society, even though I know we are succeeding in college and stuff. But just the portrayals and I feel like we're the ones that are never in style. But whether it's in style or not, black men and women have, I think Kwamel has a good point about us not being separate. We're not separate.
I don't know.
We are, we are one.
Yeah.
And that's part of what worries me about what's going on online, Stephen, is this separation.
I feel you with that. Well, at least with Black Men Build, one thing that we say is that we are bonded with black women. And it's part of our structure. Yes, as Black Men Build, but we're not going anywhere without black women,
So I teed up solutions. Let's talk about solutions through the eyes of Black Men Build.
Solutions.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple solutions. Let's get out in the community. For Black Men Build, we have a day of service once a month. So all of our guys, or as many of our guys that are available that day that we choose to do it, we all get together and we service an area of the community. We started out in Africatown Sundays with the market, with the street sweep. Got some brooms, some trash cans, and some dust pans. And so when we made sure the market was clean on Sundays.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So that's one way. Food giveaways. We pass out food to the community whenever we can, especially right here at our hub at Project 43. It's every day. So there's a lot of different things that we can get into.
Okay. Starting really foundational, right?
Yeah.
How do you clean up the community? I know you got some other events and different kinds of solution-oriented stuff going on.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you come over to Project 43, we're labeled as a Reliance Center. We have a community market, a pantry. For the millennials and young people, we have podcasting, music studios, education room. We have a garden and a greenhouse. Nursing mothers, we have a baby-to-baby program if they want to come and get like bottles and diapers and all that. So having a place to take care of the community from, if there's people in the community that can't take care of themselves, that way no one's left out. Making sure we're also pushing people in our community that show that they can handle a little bit more pressure and a little bit more weight.
Yeah. Just got a minute and a half before news, traffic, and sports, but I know you're really solution-oriented, Billion, because you're involved in so many things. Yeah. What's your philosophy around that? Because you just said, okay, black men are under pressure. Black men are being forgotten. But yet,
we have to step up and identify what it is we have to do. During slavery, it was considered illegal for us to attain our freedom, run to freedom. So today, we can't limit ourselves to what we're told we can do to better our conditions, but we just have to identify it and do it on one end. Then on the other end, we have to acknowledge this rise in reparations, the call for reparations, and get more involved in that, attempt to expedite getting that check, land, whatever else is owed to us. But also more immediately, we see with the unhousing situation, like the past couple months, it's been raining. So on our end, we get hotel rooms or whatever we can. But at the same time, we know the city has money to actually house people and not just throw our people in shelters, which is what we are finding has been happening, but to put them in some of these hotel rooms that they're providing for other people.
It is time for news, traffic, and sports, but we'll continue this conversation. And Kwamel goes kind of deeper into what I was referring to. He's talking about we get positioned as only caring about whether black men wear dresses, or positioned as the face of crime, or passport bros, podcast bros. Yeah, those are a bunch of stereotypes, and obviously you're pushing back with your work. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The University of Michigan's Poverty Solutions is releasing a report that shows home values in Detroit have risen by $3.9 billion since the city declared municipal bankruptcy. The report also shows that Black homeowners saw their housing wealth increase by $2.8 billion. University professor Jeffrey D. Mornoff says from their findings, wealth has increased a lot and fairly equitably. Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan says Detroiters who stayed in the city are seeing benefits in the form of housing wealth. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson's proposed plan to borrow over $1 million to pay for housing and other development has hit a roadblock. The Black mayor's allies delayed a full city council vote on the measure. Mayor Johnson's goal is to borrow $250 million a year through 2028 to fund efforts to expand affordable housing and boost small businesses and nonprofits. A vote now could be held as soon as Friday. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. How does 3 months of free electricity and a lifetime of energy savings sound? Well, it's yours when you go solar with Sunlux. Learn more at sunlux.com, sunlux.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Lakers coach Darvin Ham is facing his most difficult challenge since he was hired by the franchise in 2022. Ham is trying to come up with a game plan that will help the Lakers beat the defending NBA champion Denver Nuggets for the first time in almost 2 years. The Lakers have not beaten the Nuggets since December 16, 2022. Game 1 of the Lakers' first-round matchup with the Nuggets is Saturday at 5:30 on ABC. The Dodgers are off today. They need some time off to regroup. The Dodgers are 4-6 in their last 10 games and were shut out Wednesday by Washington. The Dodgers start a 3-game homestand Friday against the New York Mets. The Angels, a half game out of first place in the AL West, are at Tampa Bay today. The Angels are 9-9 under new manager Ron Washington. Washington is trying to lead the Angels to their first winning season since 2015. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, y'all, come on. Here come the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Are you tired of being stuck without internet access? Connect and go with LA County Library. It's simple. Visit your local LA County Library location and borrow a hotspot for free to get Wi-Fi wherever you are.
There are many healthcare organizations serving our community. Not all are dedicated to community partnerships that educate, build trust, inspire hope, and improve outcomes. Providence has a robust community outreach program and has dedicated $50 million over the next 5 years to support organizations addressing health disparities in local communities of color. Examples of this commitment include the Biddy Mason Community Wellness Center on the First AME campus, providing medical screenings, mental health therapy, nutrition, and culturally sensitive holistic classes. The Black Mama's Glowing Peer Support Group that focuses on maternal mental health, birth planning, and social support. Providence is committed to building trusted partnerships with community organizations to better understand and dismantle structural, racial, and cultural barriers to better health. During Minority Health Month, Providence is sponsoring Health for a Better World. Informative conversations with Providence health professionals on Urban Family Focus every Saturday in April at 7 a.m. To find a Providence Health System facility near you, log on to providence.org.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
And today you're waking up with Black Men Build. Stephen Redman, the lead organizer here in Southern California, and Billion Godsun, one of the folks active in that organization, along with the Africatown Coalition, Black Lives Matter. You named a couple others.
Downtown Crenshaw.
Downtown Crenshaw. How could I forget Downtown Crenshaw?
Project 43.
And Project 43. But you said at the top, Stephen, that Black Men Build is a national organization.
Yes.
And so how does that work?
All right, cool. So Black Men Build started in Miami, Florida. And they had, we spread out across the country, trying to get into major cities around the country, so that way we had access to all of our people around the country, and we could be unified, and people that felt the same way we did could get together and converse and take action, or whatever the case may be. So we have hubs in New York, Los Angeles, Miami, Atlanta, Detroit.
Wow, it's a lot of hubs.
I know, and I don't have a list in front of me, so I know there's a couple I'm forgetting, and we're adding 4 more this year. And we have a new men's tour coming up, so our national organization is going to be going around to all the major cities and doing. We do men's circles. This is what's our big draw to the community, is a safe space for men to speak, and we do women's circles as well. But the men's circles really took off, so we're going to do like a giant men's circle in each city for our national
That's
tour.
the tour? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And will you actually be going city to city, or each hub is going to do their circle simultaneously?
Each hub is going to do their circle on a specific date, and then different members of the organizations will be able to go. I might have to go to a couple cities, and some other people will get to come here to LA and then go down to Atlanta, so we're all going to hop around the country and help each other out.
That's amazing. I love that. And the men's circle thing makes sense. I mean, I'm not claiming to be an expert, but I feel like sister circles and, women's chats on Facebook and women's book clubs, even though men are invited too. But I just don't think black men specifically are encouraged or given the space to have that kind of expression.
That's what Black Men Build is for. Make sure that guys have a safe space. We have a book club we just started like 2 months ago, so that's starting to pick up.
Awesome.
I definitely have to make more of a conscious effort to make sure I'm on top of it, because it's just a lot going on. But and the guys are great. Like they've been killing it. I think we're on our 2nd book now, and we meet twice a month.
You got a lot going on. A book club, a store, pantry, Reliance Center, right?
Yeah.
Circles, support for folks with babies.
I'm busy.
Yeah, you're busy. And the Day of Service monthly. If someone wanted to connect black men that wants to build with you guys, what should they do?
You can check us out on Instagram at Black Men Build LA, or you can go just strictly to Black Men Build, and then all the major cities we're in, you can type in Black Men Build and just type in that city, and it'll take you there. You can check out our website. You can come pick up a wartime at the hub and learn more about.
Okay, well, I'm holding it up right now for YouTube. What is this?
So that is a wartime. That is our publication. It's our national publication. That's our 5th edition. When we try to do one, I want to say every couple quarters, depending on the time frame, what's going on this year.
This is really beautiful.
It's dope. We have great artists.
Yes. Wow.
Great writers submitting articles. I think it's competitive to get an article into our publication.
Amazing. Okay, so the conversation we were having about black men, that I think the follow-up was about the stereotypes, right? And the stereotype now is that black men are all going MAGA, that black men are supporting Trump, and as that there's also this kind of misogyny, kind of anti-LGBTQ thing going on. I love your reaction. I wish you could see Steven's face. Well, you could if you were on YouTube. What words go with that expression, Steven?
Oh, no, it's just leave people alone and let them do what they want to do. If it's bothering you that much, then just leave them alone. That's the first thing I want to say about that. Everybody's entitled to do whatever they want with their time on this planet, unless you're harming somebody.
Yeah. Where did you find your politics? I mean, if I'm looking at this wartime special edition, and you clearly have a point of view.
And I would say my politics are definitely evolving as a young man, because it's an arena that I'm growing in. Nothing, not one that I was strong with when I was younger. But for me, it's I guess it was written down in the Constitution. You know, when it comes down to politics, the basics. You know, freedom of speech, right to bear arms, and all that. Right, no matter what, you know, even in the Constitution, they have all. But no matter what your skin color, all that aside, you know, like you should right to free speech, right to bear arms.
But you clearly have a very pro-black.
Oh yeah, 100.
And I don't see that in the Constitution.
That is not in the Constitution. that's our Constitution. That's something we had to come up with for ourselves because it wasn't in that Constitution.
Right.
And yeah, that's how I feel about that. That's life experiences for me. Traveling a lot and just going to different places around this country and experiencing my blackness and how other people perceived it really opened my eyes to the world. So this is important.
And I'm going to ask you the same thing, Billion. How do you find your political foundation, your political philosophy, and the commitment that you have? I mean, you guys both have this tremendous commitment.
So I was born in a very racist and segregated Indianapolis, Indiana, but rooted in family, the love of family, huge family, and moved to Los Angeles in 1980 as the gang and drug era was rising. But a lot of folks don't really get gangbanging was really about community. You know, it was a lot of ill influences on that, but it was really rooted in family, community. Even though I didn't get put on any particular set, you know, I was very close with that. But then hip hop, the rise of Melly Mel, Run DMC. In LA, we had Captain Rap and other people who were educating us, NWA, Public Enemy, X-Clan, and then going into the 90s. Been involved in the Friday After Rodney King was beat. We had a uprising in Westwood. Then the following year, of course, the 92 uprising, and then going to Atlanta in the mid-90s, finding myself spiritually getting involved with a number of different spiritual practices, and then coming back to LA in the new millennium and really getting involved in the pushback against police terrorism. So I think, like Stephen, it was just an evolution.
Yeah. I mean, and so many of us come out of hip-hop and we end up doing various things, right? Whatever, we might have been breakdancers or rappers or graffiti artists.
Hip-hop is revolution, you know?
Okay.
Yep.
It is revolution. I have to think about that. I mean, I think I see where you're coming from with that, but there's just so much regressive, stuff out there.
Right.
And I'm not just talking about, a particular genre of hip hop. I'm also talking about sort of the corporatization of it and the way it's packaged up, the love in hip hop, the the affect of it, and I always think, well, you're the OG hip hop generation, or maybe I'm the second generation of hip hop, but still old school. So I don't, even back then though, I mean, when I was coming up, would you call Too Short revolution?
Well, it's certain aspects of it that
Sure,
was
dog.
most definitely reactionary. But again, we had a lot of folks who saw and attempted to take us in a more progressive direction. But yes, with the Chronic album, I believe that took our whole energy from the 92 uprising and just turned us right back into banging on each other.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that we can do a whole show on that, but right now we're talking about black men and building solutions, things folks can get involved with, because I really believe part of our job at KBLA Talk 1580 is to keep building and not get caught up in the gloom and doom, sort of fatalistic or hate-filled expressions toward one another as men and women, as different ethnic groups, and most especially as black people. And so I'm going to stay on that to the best of my ability, continuing the conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. Visit jpmorganchase.com/racial equity and get the tools to help reach your financial goals.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth.
Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome. We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
KBLA Talk 1580. Yep, I'm not sure. We're talking with Stephen Redman and Billion Godsun. And I think because your organization is called Black Men Build, you have hubs in cities all across the country, but also because we got 2 different generations of black men in the studio right now we end up talking about black men, the role of the black man. How do we fortify? And clearly that's one of the main missions of Black Men Build. If you were to describe that, well, I'm sure you have a mission statement.
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh, man, you call it. I'm supposed to
Okay,
have it
well, you don't have,
memorized. Right.
okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, just tell me how you see the philosophy or the goal.
I should have wrote it down. No. For me, what drew me to the organization I hopped on a mass call. So that's the first thing, do a mass call so everybody around the country can all be on one call together and just talk. And it's like a little brief intro to the organization, you know. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. I did a little bit of research.
Is that it?
Yeah, there you go. So you pulled it right up. All right, I'll read it. We build power by transforming, educating, and organizing our members and their families.
Yeah.
Yes. And for me, I got transformed on my first mass call. I was like, this is dope. And then I reached out to Micah and LeBron, who are my co-lead organizers, because those were the two guys in LA who had got together before me, I think a couple months before I found out about it. And yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. We'll start with like just a couple guys. There were like maybe like 3 or 4 of us, 5 of us. Now there's like 20, 25 of us strong that we can count on to
That's amazing.
get out in the community.
Blackman.build. Blackman as one word.
Yes.
.build. If you want to find there's a lot going on up on this website, just in terms of, you know, all of the different activities and solutions that you have going on. Billion, you want to talk a little bit about solutions from your perspective?
Solutions. Well, first identifying the problem, but then, working with others to help resolve. Like I was saying earlier with the unhoused situation, we get out, we speak to our brothers and sisters who we see out here, and find if they want housing, and if they do, then immediately when we can raise money to get them rooms, but also go into the neighborhood council meetings, go into the city meetings, call the different representatives who we have access to, and point that out. But pretty much whatever it is, we know we can, we have the power to resolve it, and especially to young folks, because I've been getting a lot of young people communicating to me their depression, their disappointment in the state of affairs right now. But to know throughout history, we have had the power to resolve our issues, overcome our issues. And you figure in a situation like slavery, where we was just completely dehumanized and treated the worst, our ancestors found it in themselves to come out of that. So what we're facing today, we can most definitely come out of.
Yeah. Talk about some of the things you have going on. I mean, that people can participate in. So the African Town Coalition has really built ourselves as a response team to different issues. We've encouraged people, instead of calling 911, as we see too often when police show up, sometimes the person calling for help is killed. So we primarily position ourselves to do that. I just got a call as we were walking in here to check on someone's dog. But whether it's a missing person, whether it's domestic issues, we organize to do that. Like I was saying, politically, we've advocated for or against different officials when we found them to not act in our best interests. But Sundays, we have the African Marketplace, and that's been a situation where people who have been cut off from more traditional means of income can now come out and generate their own income. We've seen some of our vendors transition from street merchants to brick and mortar merchants. What else are we doing? Reparations. That is probably our biggest focus right now, as it's gone from a Californian situation to now a national situation, to where we're seeing other cities starting to build their task force and starting to put their propositions forward. We also have a campaign against the banks. We found the banks invest in pretty much everything bad that's happening to us right now, whether it's the policing, whether it's the housing crisis, prisons. So we've been encouraging folks to divest from the larger banks and invest in smaller banks like One United and other which is black-owned
banks. There are black-owned credit unions you can find online, but to really start acting in our best interest.
How did you two end up being comrades in struggle?
Can
or
I tell a funny story?
Yeah, funny story is always good.
Because I'm just a young man minding my own business on a Sunday, and I'm just hanging out, and then there's a little protest. Something was going on, a little commotion. I just got a little closer, and the next thing I know, there's a lot of commotion. So I just jumped in and broke up the commotion, It was a fight. It broke up a fight. There was a lot of chaos that day. But yeah, I was just minding my own business. Broke up the fight. William looks at me and goes, "We need more brothers like you. Take action." And he turned around and walked away. And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, when people say day one, this right here is a day one. Stephen has been a loyal, courageous, brave young brother who has a huge heart. You know, Stephen, he loves people. He loves the community. You know, he's over at Project 43 showing that. With us, he shows that. But, yeah, and I think as a lot of previous revolutionaries and our leaders have shown, the movement is always rooted in love. And that's what this brother right here has for us, his people, love.
And you guys keep referring to Project 43. There's also a website, project43la.org, project43la.org. That's hilarious. So that's like some superhero story. You break up the fight, and then here comes someone out of nowhere. Keep doing that, and then just disappears. But it's love to see the intergenerational camaraderie and support between the two of you guys as activists.
Definitely.
Yeah. Where do you draw your strength from, Stephen?
From my ancestors, you know, or my grandma, you know.
Your ancestors and your grandma,
yeah,
who's actually
an ancestor.
an
She's still here.
ancestor,
She's still
even though
here.
she's here, yeah,
I feel like that's it. You know, I
Yeah.
think about, like, you know, my foundation, how I was raised, where I come from, and what it means, and that I have to continue to carry my baton until it's time for the next generation to take it.
And how do you define a black man? We've been talking about the black man and under attack, the stereotypes, the marginalization, the disempowerment, even though it never works, the attempted disempowerment. How do you define, you know, black man in the terms that you would see fit?
I say we are what we are, good, bad, and ugly. You know, a lot of times, well, on one end, you know, we rise to greatness, but on the other end, like you've pointed out a few times today, a lot of people just really focus on the negative, but the negative comes from the system that has cultivated that. So I don't dismiss or separate none of that, because even in our ugliest, that is what, you know, we've become based off of this society, you know, we were born into. But, you know, just like all other people, is no specific definition for black men. Even with myself and Stephen, as many similarities as we have, there are differences. So, yeah, I say just learn from that particular man and yeah, let him define himself.
We got a couple minutes here left. I'm going to give them to you, Stephen Redman. You can answer that question or do with what you want to with those minutes.
Yes, it's I have.
Just how you affirmatively define the black man.
I guess for me, I look at my role model. So first is my dad, provider, protector, you know, friend. And I just look at just the other people I've gravitated towards in my life. That's what I look at. A black man is someone that I looked up to, someone I felt safe with. So that's how I look at it, you know, and making sure that's what I am to my community.
Love that definition. And since we started out talking about Black Men Build, let's come full circle.
Okay.
Tell people what you want them to know about Black Men Build.
Oh, definitely. Black Men Build is a wonderful organization with great men involved across the country, every city, great guys. Please come to a men's circle if you're a man, and a women's circle if you're a woman. Those are the only programs we do where we're separate, because that's a safe space for you and a safe space for us, and we don't mix up. But we want to get there, but we want to make sure that both circles are good enough and safe enough to bring those conversations together. Join us for our day of service. Join us for our breakfast programs. Well, let me make sure I have everything here. We have a day of the nines. That's like our number for the organization. Number of completion is 9. So we also have a special event. If anybody that wants to come out, we play chess, or we go to the range, or, you know, we just go out to eat, maybe take everybody to a game or something like that. But that's like a day for us to just be together and to promote the hub. And we got, of course, the new men's tour coming up. So don't forget to tap in with us about the new men's tour. We're going to have a giant men's circle. 150 plus gentlemen is what we're looking for. We'll have a catered meal. Be a nice venue and everything. So stay tuned. Our date for the men's tour here in Los Angeles is September 14th.
Great. Well, Stephen Redman and Billy and Godson, thank you for coming in, and thanks for all the great work you guys are doing.
Thank
you for the work you do.
Thanks for having us.
News, traffic, and sports, then call me. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The University of Michigan's Poverty Solutions is releasing a report that shows home values in Detroit have risen by $3.9 billion since the city declared municipal bankruptcy. The report also shows that Black homeowners saw their housing wealth increase by $2.8 billion. University professor Jeffrey D. Mornoff says from their findings, wealth has increased a lot and fairly equitably. Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan says Detroiters who stayed in the city are seeing benefits in the form of housing wealth. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson's proposed plan to borrow over $1 million to pay for housing and other development has hit a roadblock. The Black mayor's allies delayed a full city council vote on the measure. Mayor Johnson's goal is to borrow $250 million a year through 2028 to fund efforts to expand affordable housing and boost small businesses and nonprofits. A vote now could be held as soon as Friday. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. How does 3 months of free electricity and a lifetime of energy savings sound? Well, it's yours when you go solar with Sunlux. Learn more at sunlux.com, sunlux.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Lakers coach Darvin Ham is facing his most difficult challenge since he was hired by the franchise in 2022. Ham is trying to come up with a game plan that will help the Lakers beat the defending NBA champion Denver Nuggets for the first time in almost 2 years. The Lakers have not beaten the Nuggets since December 16, 2022. Game 1 of the Lakers' first-round matchup with the Nuggets is Saturday at 5:30 on ABC. The Dodgers are off today. They need some time off to regroup. The Dodgers are 4-6 in their last 10 games and were shut out Wednesday by Washington. The Dodgers start a 3-game homestand Friday against the New York Mets. The Angels, a half game out of first place in the AL West, are at Tampa Bay today. The Angels are 9-9 under new manager Ron Washington. Washington is trying to lead the Angels to their first winning season since 2015. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580.